Hey folks, Kwame here with another Square Skills tutorial. Uh, Hopefully, pretty easy to follow. Someone on one of the Facebook groups, I think it might have been the Ghost Plugins one, requested how to recreate this lovely nav that we've got up here, up at the top on Squarespace, and it's actually pretty easy. First things first, this initial setup, edit the page, edit the site header. In the first tab, make sure that you've got a button. In the second, the desktop one, make sure the header layout you've selected is the second one from the bottom. I know mine's looking a little bit janky at the minute. I've got some like stylish CSS or something that's interfering. And then on mobile, make sure you've selected this header layout, which is also the second from the bottom. Pretty simple. Once that's done, save your page. Give it a second. Let it reload. I'm actually just going to double check that I don't have any of my own CSS interfering at the minute. But yeah, there you go. First part done for the most part. Just need to get rid of this and turn it into a menu. And then on the mobile side, this is what we need. We need to make sure that we get that button in there. So let's start on desktop. Put my code back in that was already in there. And first thing we want to do is we want to hide desktop nav links. Easy enough. If you inspect them, you'll see that the element they're in here is the header nav. That's the container that's going to have the nav wrapper and everything, but that's the top level one. So header nav, display none for you. Sorry, actually target it first. So period, header dash nav, open our curlies, display none. That's affected the layout of our nav, but don't stress too much. The next thing we want to do is we want to show Hamburger on desktop. So that is, if we go to our mobile, this component here, we go up our cascade and we can see, there we go, the header burger is what we want. So header burger, and before I actually put that in, let me actually explain how and what I'm doing. So here's our header burger, and we can see that there's a media query saying that only on tablets and phones and stuff below a certain screen size is where it's going to display, because it's got this display flex right here. It's some other properties, but it's this display flex. So we could in fact just copy this entire thing and then get rid of the media query, our desktop view, and we'll see there it is. Now we got the problem of it being in the wrong place. We've got another problem that we'll address that in a second. Let's just sort out this order. So sort order of nav. Oh. So we know that header burger we want to be first. We also, if we right click here and we want, let's make sure. So if we look, everything's selected there. We can see this is a flex box. Click that little toggle there. And now we can see there's 1, 2, 3 elements. So let's fix the order. And that's really easy. Order 1. Now nothing's happening, you say. And that's fine. That's because this Square Skills, the one, the logo is first currently. So if we target that, again, we look, and now that I've got this on, I can use this to quickly navigate. So title wrapper, that's first. Then we've got header actions right, and then we've got header burger. So let's grab you. We want you to be second. Don't forget the period to select it. Order 2. Still jumping ahead. Not quite what we want. So last but not least, let's get the header actions right. Order 3, and I need to link these two because these are combo classes. Just tidy up my CSS a little bit. Cool. Everything's in the right order. Bit messy though. So we need to clear up this additional space here. First of all, first thing I can see is that header actions right here. It's got a set width. If we get rid of that, we see it shrinks, which is good. So let's just give it a width of auto, and correct our spelling mistakes probably would be useful too. Button order, or just button CSS is here. Change that to say logo, just so it's a bit clearer what's going on in the CSS view. We need to get, there's a gap there, and I happen to know that's a margin, but I'll show you how. If we look, scroll down our cascade. Okay, so there, we need to open whatever this is, and there we go. That little orange line is telling us we've got a margin. It's right there. So grab this element, period to select it, margin 0, and again, if it's a combo class, no spaces. They're looking clean. Here's that second problem though. The menus and no-show. Actually, weirdly, I think I corrected this for someone else earlier today, but I'll show you how we do it. On mobile, it works. We can right-click and we can inspect, and we can see, well, there's a couple of ways of doing it, but let's just stick with the easiest one. Scroll through, I'm looking at classes, header menu nav. That looks like the element we're talking about because we saw that the logo and the X were working on desktop. So I'm going to select that, and I can already see what the issue is, but let's just go to desktop for a second, reopen our inspector, and if we look at the CSS here, I mean, that visibility hidden stands out immediately. There's also an opacity 0 above it. If we switch back to mobile, and we've selected the same element and it's open, we can see, look, there's a media query saying that on small screens, it's got opacity 1, meaning it's opaque, and visibility visible. If I could show you both screens, or if I was, I could show you, elements changing, because basically what's happening is there's a class being added, header menu open there, which is doing the change. So let's sort this. I'm going to place this ensure menu visible on desktop, and grab this entire bit of code here, including the media query, and then just remove the media query. So now it's targeting all screen sizes. See if it works. Fantastic. I think my screen's a bit laggy at the minute, but hey-oh. Okay. So far, so good. That pretty much covers the desktop side of things. I guess the other thing is putting this little menu text on the left there, and that's actually really easy. Where's there? There's our header burger. We could literally say header burger double colon after, create pseudo element. So we're going to say give it a content of nothing. Say display block. We're going to say position relative. I'm going to give a width of 100% and a height of 100%. I'll change that in a bit. Just check that it exists first. So there's our header burger. Here's our after element. Not really visible. Probably because I forgot to put in the keyword, which is menu. Probably want to give it a color. So let's get rid of caps first. Color inherit. Nope, that's no good. Okay, in that case, I'm just going to color white. That's there. Reason why I wanted it to inherit was because I was thinking it would be invisible against this backdrop. But now that I think about it, that actually works better in this case. So kill two birds with one stone. Alrighty, mobile. On this page, let's just quickly look at the mobile view. I don't know, let's just do iPhone 12. Okay, so no text, and it's the same thing. Okay, that is easy enough. Let's just switch it back to desktop. So what we can do to make sure that text is only on desktop is wrap it in some curly brackets. At the beginning, we're going to do a media, and I'm going to do desktop because I happen to have a variable. What are they called? Mixin variable, something like that. Anyway, created. I might be sure to do those in another video, but basically creating a media query so that it's only displaying on desktop. Now we need that button back. If I remember, it's actually this one here, the header buttons actions right, but let's right click and inspect. Header actions right, CTA one. Let's shrink the screen down and have a look. And yeah, look, there we go. There's a display none on it. Not kind of what we wanted. So let's keep our CSS nice and dry. Let's do display block here. Maybe I need something more specific. Header actions right. Let's try an important, and if that doesn't work, I will just copy, use the correct CSS. Okay. Let's just copy the CSS from the inspector. Okay. I was targeting the wrong element because it is actually visible there, but it's, I need to get everything. So it's multiple elements set to display none. Let's copy them, pop them down here, and say display, not none, display block. Now, as you can see, that's creating some strange behavior with this overflow, which we don't want, but that's fine. That's enough of a starting point. Let's just see what happens here. Okay. So right click, inspect you. So obviously this block is too big, first of all. I have a feeling it's because this header title is massive. Yeah. And it's got some funky side padding that we don't need. So that's cool. Let's more mobile now for styling. Logo, show button, add my notes. Header title is the name of that element, so header title. And a padding on the right that we don't want, so we'll just set that to padding right 0. Let's see. Padding right 0 is happening. Oh, sorry. How bizarre. Sorry. It was the header title text element that had it. Let's see how that does. Interesting. So because this CSS here is more specific, it is overriding it. And we can try copying this white part of it that's showing, it's active for this element. If we target that specifically, fix it. Okay, there we go. It's good news. But we still have this header title element is too large. Now, it's not, I'm just fiddling with that. It's not because it has a set width or this flex or anything like that. So let's see if we can set it to flex shrink. Let's give it a flex shrink value to see if it will resize itself without me having to do any extra work. No dice. Let's check if any of the elements inside it have a set width that's interfering. No dice there, so we need to tidy things up a little bit here. I was hoping there was a nice, quick, easy shortcut, but I guess I could just make one of these elements make these elements auto, and I'll do it for the title text element as well. Or maybe even actually in content. There we go. That's much better. Min content and min content. So basically making it only as large as the smallest element inside it. This one here, I think, wow, really wants to be stuck at that width, doesn't it? Okay, that's fine. Let's do a margin 0 on both and see if that fixes it for us. Nope. Okay. Let's do this properly then. So, examining the elements that we've got at our disposal, we have a flex container here. Inside it, we've got the burger, which in the editor, I'm just going to give an outline of 2 pixels, yellow, solid yellow. Then we have the title wrapper, which I'm also going to give an outline of 2 pixels, solid, let's do orange, just so that I can see what's going on with them. And this is what I was looking for in the beginning. So it was the header title nav wrapper that I had missed out on. So I can get rid of some of this code here. I was right. I was just looking at the wrong element. I need to find that. Where's it gone? Header title nav wrapper. I'm going to set it to a flex of 1. So that means it'll grow and it'll shrink. And just tidy this up here. Let's quickly save that, refresh the page, just so that we can get rid of the CSS that I'd edited in the inspector. And I'll give it a second. So you will have to forgive me. Sorry, I accidentally closed the window. But let's go back to mobile view. So we were fixing this nav here. We need to make sure that this logo element here, I really want to kill that background video. We need to make sure that it's not taking up the full width. So we found the header title nav wrapper, that's this element here. And at the minute, my flex 1 is not doing anything because there's a more specific media query. However, I'm just looking at this. It's within header display mobile, so I don't actually really need a media query. I am just going to be naughty and I'm just going to overwrite that with important, like so. It fits everything in. Now, this is a little bit uglier than we'd like because that get started button is pretty clunky. But if we look at the site for Beautiful Noise on mobile, it was just one word. It was tickets, which makes it a lot easier to fit in. And the button wasn't as clunky. So we can just fiddle with the button stylings there if we really want. Because this is the mobile version of the same button, As opposed to the desktop one, I've set I thought I had a mobile media query. I'll just do max width 768 pixels. I think that's where Squarespace sets it normally. So we can just do some styling of the button there. And I'm just going to be really lazy because I don't want to open the editor, and I'm just going to change it like so. But as you can see, if you change the text, it makes it smaller. We can adjust the padding here. So this is the current padding settings, 1.2 rem by 1.2. I'm going to say let's half that to 1 rem vertically. And do you know what? Let's go even lower. Let's go to 0.8 and 5. Probably a little bit too much. 0.8 and 0.8. 0.8 and 1. There you go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Functional. Got our buttons. Works on desktop. It's got the little extra bit of text. And you're golden. I hope this helps. Yeah, going to do the YouTube thing and say feel free to like, subscribe, etc. If you really want, there's a buy me a coffee link at the end of the video if you want to show some love that way. And yeah, keep an eye out because I plan to start showing some more premium tutorials for just more creative, interesting things. They'll generally require a bit of jQuery. And yeah, hopefully this has also sort of empowered you to, I guess, understand the process of making these kinds of edits so that then you can take them further and do more interesting things than what I'm showing here. Anyways, hope this helps. Have a great day.